ambiguous because both Bayesians and frequentists will say that it's a good idea to start flipping a coin to figure out, in some sense, figure out the probability. Like the information is very valuable. Where they differ in the purely epistemological sense is that frequentists tend to think that like the meaning of the probability of the coin being fair has something to do with the frequencies of heads versus tails. So, like, absent any flips, it becomes unclear how to even talk about what the probability is or isn't. And there are things they can do to try to patch this up. But with Bayesians, I mean, they would probably want to say that if you haven't flipped the coin yet, it's true that you don't have any data to work on, but you might know something about like the symmetries of the coin, and you want to try to probably tie that to some sort of like version of a principle of indifference, where if you have a bunch of outcomes which are symmetric in some epistemically relevant way, then you should assign them equal credence.
Do you have an opinion, Mark? Like, do you think, like, because, like, I think I'm partial to the frequentist position. Like, I just think I couldn't know whether it's a loaded or unloaded coin. Like, even, like, I could apply the principle of indifference, but that might give me the wrong answer on the loaded coin.
Well, if you have an opinion, I'm definitely some sort of orthodox Bayesian. But the word no here is somewhat loaded. I mean, Bayesians aren't saying they know for a fact that the coin.
Yeah, I'm not saying I know either. I'm just saying.
Right, they're just saying it's a good idea to have this credence, which will then assuredly be updated in some way upon contact with the data.
Flipping, yeah.
But you don't need any data to start with.
Is the point there just like
good opinion?
Is the point there like it's just useful to like have this type of like prior probability, and like you can just apply the principle of indifference, and like obviously it's not always going to get you like the correct quote unquote answer or whatever. But the frequentist doesn't seem to have the same sort of like stance on like same sort of ability to like generate reasonable prior probabilities, and that's why you like.
I mean, I don't think frequentists really want to talk about
priors at all. Yeah.
In this relevant sense. I mean, they will in a more sort of mathematical or operational sense, but they mean something less interesting and less controversial than what Bayesians mean in this specific context. That said, I mean, the grand sort of schema of criticism that Bayesians have towards frequentists is that really they need priors. Like,
that's what I was trying to
really get anywhere, and that if they think they don't have any, it's only because they're sort of in some way smuggling them under the hood and then declaring them not to exist.
Okay.
But they are necessary.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get to.
Also, know if there's a difference between a like subjective Bayesian who thinks that just all priors
so your opinion or an objective Bayesian, or the difference.
Mark, I lean towards like subjective Bayesianism because I like care a lot about these principles of difference and like trying to match priors to like frequencies. And oftentimes the frequencies for me can be like really abstract things like, I don't know, like how often do when big guys fight with little guys and big guys win? And they can be like, but like I try to get as close to as possible. As,
I'm subjectively bored right now.
With some frequency for it, and like. Does that just make me like a frequentist who just allows sloppier frequencies to like count as frequencies that are relevant?
I like the frequency kind of description because everyone's energy is so different, and if you actually read it, I don't know, you see different things in people. You see beyond the veilment.
This is a very unexpected direction.
Mark, it is a question. Let's answer the question.
Well, frequency could mean frequency of like a wavelength, right?
Exactly.
Not the quantum.
No, Mark.
Not quantum. You're saying like people just giving off like vibrations and stuff. Like that's a wave.
No, well, yeah.
Hold on. I know I was clever. I had a question for Mark. I'd like that answered.
Absolutely.
And then,
heuristics. Like Bayesianism is definitely an ideal theory that is not in the sort of naive form appropriate to highly computationally bounded agents such as ours. Kind of analogous to the way that, maybe the mathematically optimal chess strategy is brute forcing a trillion moves in advance, but humans can't actually do that. And so, there's a few limited scenarios where we can apply brute force, but usually we have to rely on heuristics, which we have to approximate in some way. That's hard to pin down the actual optimal technique, which is, very different.
Chances of you seeing this YouTube short are super rare. There's over 100.
You should would approach that in a different way. Like they'd want to say, maybe in the case of Reddit, it makes sense to fire. Then they're going to want to say, oh, well, the prior is such that, the prior is sort of like flexible enough and, non-dogmatic enough, like sort of neutral enough that it will learn rapidly from the data such that it won't take you very many trials or observations until like the shape of the distribution like converges into like a very sharp peak around the frequency you've observed. So like the actual kind of OG toy model case of this is called the rule of succession. So like, and I mean, it's not taken all that seriously, including by its inventor, but one of the greatest mathematicians of the 18th century, Pierre-Simon de Laplace, wondered if he could calculate the probability that the sun will rise tomorrow. And of course, he couldn't exactly, but he wanted to, ask himself, like, if I put like some very minimal, unrealistic assumptions on it, can I calculate the probability? So he assumes that there's a certain probability p between somewhere of the sun rising every day, each day, it's between 0 and 1. And then he asks, he says, okay, I don't really feel like I know much about what that probability is before looking at any sunrises or failures of the sunrise. So I'm just going to assume that the prior is uniform between 0 and 1. So for example, it's just as likely to be under 50% as it is to be over 50%. And then from that, given he observes that it rises, let's say, a million days in a row.
So I'm just saying, so when it comes to me and people being critical, it's expected. And if somebody got something nice to say, that's cool too. Like it's whatever, man.
That's very nice of you. You're a very humble man.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Humility goes a long way in the good word.
Get the fuck out of here, man. Get the fuck out of here, man.
I'm not humble. Fuck that. I don't give a shit. And I'm not modest at all.
I'm finna go walk my dog, man.
If that's your dog, I suggest you go walk that bitch.
Is that dog walking you, or you walking the dog?
What's your name?
Whatever your mom says she's name, if that's your dog, I suggest you go train that bitch. Even, do you feel like you lost the chance?
Nah, I don't. I thought my material was better than his, but I'm cool with the L, because you get an L. If you lose, you lose, regardless of how you feel. Lose. If you win, you win, regardless of how everybody feels. Win. So I personally feel it don't matter.
Gotcha.
Your opinion of yourself is worth a lot more than other people's opinions.
I don't know if he's a pimp named Slickback or a reverend.
when that battle is brought up,
Right.
I say Chump's got a dub. He beat me.
Do you guys agree with me?
7:30.
Do y'all agree with me with when I say that battle rapping is a bunch of haters? You gotta be a hater to be able to battle rap. Because I don't like battle rapping. I'm not that good at that because I don't know how to hate on people.
As a battle rapper, I do not agree with you. No, no, that's it.
I'll bet I'm putting $10 on the table right now. Who wants a battle rap on the spot?
That was dumb as hell.
No background music, no pre-recorded shit. Battle rap now. $10 cash app on the table.
That's cool. I got my answer.
Speaking of money on the floor,
I got my answer.
I'm supposed to be. Well, I'm not going to, but I got offered $10,000.
So what? But how many times you saying that? I heard you saying
I'm
that shit.
excited, and I'm gonna say it to the top of the ceiling. Cause I'm proud of it. I'm proud of myself.
I'll do it.
Vanity of vanities. All is vanity.
Thank you, London.
That's not a compliment. I don't think.
Wait, what are you talking about, wifey?
She said vanity. What did you say? What was that?
I said vanity of vanities. All is vanity.
Oh, I thought you were talking to comedy.
No, but I am conceited though.
I am too. I'm not a narcissist. I'll be the first to admit it.
Who is that? Who is that, man? Talk of that. Who is that, man?
I'm the best rap battler in the world. Funny with the money. Oh, you got me mistaken, honey. I don't want to rape you. I just want the paper. The visa, capisha. I'm out like the papers. Who's the head slick macho? Cool like Camacho.
I gotta start saying it with a drug.
Hey, it's crazy. It's crazy how you take a Biggie bar, bro. It's crazy how you gonna take Biggie bar and try to. It's crazy. Come on, man.
Which one's the big word?
You know? Man, he trying to take it.
It's the boss. It's the boss acting like a peasant. I'm serious. Looking with you. You know, sometimes you gotta be amongst. You know what I mean? You gotta blend in.
Comedy, man, is.
How many man's funny?
I don't know.
He's hilarious.
I gotta do this thing called work. I got a job. I gotta get to the gym and read a book.
You know,
It's great.
I loved X. X is the only platform with porno.
I don't think I got a chance to finish my statement before you interrupted me.
Yeah, you said we heard you. You got the chance to battle, but you're not gonna take it.
Can I ask what?
Because you're not a hater, bruh. You gotta be a hater to be a battle rapper. I'm not a battle rapper. I'm a cipher.
Can I ask you hold on.
Wife, here you are.
What
I'm always high.
why you gotta be ready to be battle rap? Why you gotta be ready to be a battle rap?
No, I'm just talking shit because I feel like you have to be able to hate on someone to be able to sit there and give them some hits, right? I'm not like that. I don't think that way. And so for me, battle rapping is a little more difficult. I have to really think of some insults and shit like you know what I mean? Cause I only insult people when I'm mad. So I can't just do it from battle rap type shit. I'm just trying to find out songs I love for real. No, I'm just saying from my perspective. It doesn't mean that. That's why I said, do you guys think that you have to be here? That's why I asked y'all opinion. Because I see if you guys have a different opinion.
I think your opinion is right on.
Yeah, it's objective.
I don't think you gotta be a hater. You got certain motivations. Like certain battles, you got certain motivations. Some people you battle because you genuinely don't like them.
Over the sea,
When it comes to that right here,
come back with Apollo in perfect dress, and Pythoness. Come with Artemis, silken
you got a lot of situations which are they not when niggas want to battle you because they respect your pen and they want to challenge you. It's not necessarily hate. You know what I'm saying? I like what you're doing, my nigga. Let's get it in. Let's see who
It's part of the craft. discussions about things because I can have a perspective, but then other people's perspectives can always change our view on things. And that's why my perspective never set on stone. I'm always debating and trying to figure out other things that I may not be privy to that may change my outlook.
My morning Clubhouse podcast. Hope you enjoy that. Yo. What? Hello? Hello?